Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudramarudastunandi Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Sruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. We are continuing the discussion of the Bhagavad Gita with Shankaracharya's commentary. So here is a discussion between two approaches to karma and jnana. According to one view, which is technically known as Jnana Karma Samuccayavada, which is combining action or rituals and supreme knowledge or realization. According to Jnana Karma Samuccayavada, which is a school of thought that was held by three important thinkers belonging to pre-Shankarite period, that is Bhakta Prapancha, who is the most prominent among the three, and Brahmadatta and Mantana. According to Bhakta Prapancha, one should never give up rituals, even after reaching the highest spiritual realization. Here, of course, the word karma or rituals in this context has got one very clearly defined meaning. External rituals prescribed in the Vedic Karma Kanda, explained in Samhitas and Brahmana literature, the Saptahaviri Yajna, like Somayaga, Aptoryama, Agnishtoma, Somayaga, Ashwametha, and so on. Rituals, Vedic rituals performed by householders in the company of their wife, which involves of putting offerings in fire, Dharakni Sahitam Karma. So according to this particular school of philosophers, that is Jnana Karma Samuccayavada, one has no right to give up rituals, even after realizing the highest spiritual truth, even after Jnana Prapti. One should continue the performance of external rituals till the end of one's life. So, combining both rituals and knowledge. But according to Shankaracharya, it is not so. After one realizes the supreme truth, after getting Brahmajnana, we are not obliged to perform any of these Vedic rituals. Vedic rituals become totally irrelevant after Jnana Prapti, after attaining the supreme knowledge. So, in support of this view, Shankaracharya says, Lord Krishna has made very clear that those who have reached the highest degree of Chitta Shuddhi and have reached Jnana Prapti, there is no more ritual. Their path is Jnana Nishtha. And those who have not reached this level of spiritual progress, those who are still progressing or evolving in their spiritual life, have to perform all their duties without kartrutva and bhoktrutva, without the awareness, without the feeling of their own doership or enjoyership, kartrutva, bhoktrutva, atita. So those who belong to the early or the primary stage of spiritual progress should perform all their duties, including rituals, without any attachment. Then gradually they will reach Chitta Shuddhi, purity of mind, and then jnana prapti and moksha. So Lord Krishna has made a very clear distinction. That's the subject of discussion now. Yatha etat vibhagya vachanam tatha eva darshidam shadapathiye brahmane etameva pravrajino logamichando brahmanaha pravrajanti iti. So this vibhagya vachanam of jnana and karma, a complete and clear distinction between karma and jnana, between those who are fit only for the performance of karma and those who do not have any obligation to perform any of the rituals. This complete distinction is made in the Gita, and the Bhashyakara refers to another very important statement from Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda, that is from Shatabhatha Brahmana. So Shatabhatha Brahmana says, this Vajasane Samhita is another name, Edameva pravrajino logamichando brahmanaha pravrajanti iti. So those who have reached the highest degree of vairagya, renunciation, and those who do not have any aim in their life other than the highest realization, they take to sannyasa, they take to the life of a mendicant. It is an important statement that comes from Shatabhatha Brahmana, because they aim only at the world of Atman, that is Etameva pravrajino logamichando brahmanaga pravrajanti. So those who look upon the realization of Brahman or Atman as the only goal in their life, they take to sannyasa, not others. Sarva karma sannyasam vidhaya tat sheshena kim prajaya karishyamo yesham noyamatma ayam lokaha iti. Now, the same text makes another important statement. Incidentally, this text is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is part of this particular Vajasane Samhita. So there it is very clearly stated, those who do not care for leading the life of an ordinary householder, those who don't have any worldly pursuits, those who don't want to lead a life of worldly existence, they will make, naturally they will think, what are we going to do with children? What are we going to do with any of these worldly achievements if they don't help us to reach the highest spiritual realization? So this quotation is an important declaration of the refutation of jnana karma samuccayavada. So the distinction is very clearly made, that is, those brahmanas, those who have reached the highest level of spiritual fitness, who have reached chitta shuddhi, they have no worldly desires. They naturally have only one aspiration, to attain the realm of Atman, Atmajnana. They should give up all mundane thoughts. And not only that, after this laying down the Sarva Karma Sannyasa, the same Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, says, it goes further, Kim prajaya karishyamo yesham no ayam atma ayam loka. What shall we do with progeny? What are we going to attain with these worldly enjoyments? So, those who reached a higher level of spiritual evolution will not have any desire for the performance of rituals which are meant only for those householders who have a lot of desires to fulfill, like progeny, wealth, reputation, Bhashyam Sharadasadam, Jivema Sharadasadam, Bhuyasya Sharadasadat. Those who want to live for a long time, those who want to live for 100 years, longevity, wealth, progeny and so on. People who have these desires, they will not and they cannot reach the highest spiritual realization. They cannot take to sannyasa. So those who take to sannyasa will have no desire at all for the performance of any of these rituals. So that's the idea behind. Again there is another quotation. Tatraivacha pragdara parigrahat purusha atma prakruto dharma jijnasotragaram lokatraya sadhanam putram dipragaram cha vittam manusham devam cha tatra manusham vittam karma rupam pitraloka prapti sadhanam vidyam cha devam vittam devaloka prapti sadhanam so kamayata. So of course the word kama is used here. The meaning should be very, very clearly understood. Kama shabdartha, according to Bhashyakara, who explains this elsewhere, is Marana Sima Karanam Jivitaha Avashyam Bhavihi Kama Krodhodbhavo Vegaha Ananda Nimittavanki Sa iti Yavat Maranam Tavat Na Visrambhaniyaka. And elsewhere in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Bhashyakara says Kamaga Stri Vitikara Pilashadi. So Kama, in a way, in a general sense, it means all desires, all worldly desires. So those who have reached a higher degree of spiritual fitness, purity of mind, and a strong desire for Atma Sakshatkaram, they will have no desire, no inclination to perform any of these rituals which can only guarantee worldly or otherworldly, heavenly pleasures. So Bhashyakara is referring to this Vittatrayam. Here Manusha Vittam, then that is Deva Vittam and Manushya-loka, as I mentioned here. So the first important point is this putra, a person who has got a good son, who will perform rituals according to Vedic injunctions. He will guarantee Manushya-loka prapti. He will guarantee the father will be born again in this world, and an ideal son can always help a departed soul, his father, to attain a better life when his father is reborn. It is called Manushya-loka, which is possible only if the father has got a good ideal son. Then there is Pitraloka. If a person performs satkarmas, good actions, ethical actions, moral actions, good philanthropical activities, then it can be a help. It can guarantee Pitraloka prapti. And then if a person practices Devata Vishaya Vidya, I mean learning Vedic ritual, Vedic learning, imparting Vedic teachings, etc., then that person can attain Devaloka. So Devaloka, Pitraloka and Manushya-loka. It is called Lokatraya Sadhanam. So all these rituals can become Lokatraya Sadhanam, can help us either to attain Manushya-loka, Pitraloka or Devaloka. But those who have reached the highest degree of Chitta Shuddhi will have no desire for any of these attainments, any of these results. Putra or son is mentioned here. So Pavayati Trayate Anena Iti. That is, a good son, through his good actions, noble virtuous actions, can make the rebirth of their parents in a higher plane, can protect the fathers not only in this life but also after death. So it is a common belief that the departed soul of the parent, the father or mother will be benefited if the son who is alive can do good actions, good deeds. This is called Manusham Vrittam. Manusham Vrittam here means in the form of several rituals. If a person performs rituals enjoined in the Shastras, it will help the departed souls to attain Pitraloka, that is the region of mains. Then Devam Vittam, that is in the form of Vidya or learnings, which can help us to attain Devaloka Prapti. So now, the important point is, Bhashyakara makes an important point here. Iti avidya kamavata eva sarvani karmani saudadini darshitani. So, one important point the Bhashyakara makes very clear here is, Iti avidya kamavata eva sarvani karmani saudadini darshitani. So, all these sauda karmas are meant only for those who have not reached the highest spiritual realization. That means the Jiva Brahma Jnanam. That is, unless they have reached the highest spiritual realization, they have an obligation to perform all these rituals which can guarantee either Devaloka Prapti, Pitraloka Prapti or Manushaloka Prapti. But those who have reached the highest degree of spiritual progress will not have any obligation to perform any of these rituals. It's an important point to remember. So one may ask this question, can all people aspire for the highest spiritual realization? If the majority of people in society become spiritual aspirants and take to the highest life of renunciation, giving up all the social or family obligations, is it possible for human society to survive? Bhashyakara makes it very, very clear elsewhere in the Aitareya Upanishad. This is not meant for all people. The majority of people in society will have to engage themselves in different activities which are necessary for the perseverance, for the survival of family, society and nation. They have to do their duties to their family, the society and the country. But those who have the highest spiritual aspiration, those who have transcended the lower desires, worldly desires, should not be forced to perform these rituals. The main conflict between the Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins and Advaitin, that is Bhagavan Bhashyakara, is this. The Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins like Bhatta Prabhanja, Brahmadatta, Mandana and others, they assert that every person, irrespective of the highest spiritual progress that he has made, should perform these rituals which are meant to guarantee worldly pleasures. So, the central theme, the main topic of discussion is whether external rituals, Sraudani Karmani, the Srauda Smarta Karmas, are compulsory for all people or not. Those who uphold the view of combining Jnana and Karma, the highest knowledge and rituals, they hold the view that these external rituals are compulsory for all people. But Advaitins say it is not compulsory for all people. Those who have transcended worldly desires, as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or a Buddha or a Shankara or Ravana Maharshi, if you make it a declaration that all of them should perform these external rituals, then Advaitins say no. The highest spiritual seekers have no obligation to perform any of these rituals. These rituals may be necessary for the majority of people in society, because for the sake of the survival of society and family and nation, all these external rituals may be necessary. That's why Bhashyakara says, Evam putrotpadanadi karma avichchedenaiva santataha prabandharupena vartanti hi yasmat ime lokaha tasmat tadavichchedaya takartavyam. But Bhashyakara says na mokshaya. The idea is this: marriage, family, external rituals, social obligations are all necessary for the unbroken succession and preservation of society and family. But those who have no desire for any of these worldly obligations, those who have gone beyond or transcended these worldly obligations, have no responsibility. It is not mandatory for them to perform any of these rituals. It's just like asking a professor in a university to go to primary school and learn all the primary lessons. So when we enter the kindergarten or primary school, we have to pay a lot of attention to master the primary lessons. A kindergarten child may have to work hard to master the alphabet. But when you become a professor, when you become a scientist, you are not obliged to learn the lessons meant for the primary school student. Similarly, those who have transcended the early stages of spiritual evolution should not necessarily perform the rituals meant for those who belong to an earlier or a more primary level of spiritual evolution. That's a point made very clear here. Then Bhashyakara continues, Iti avidya kamavata eva sarvani karmani saudadini darshidani tebhyo vitthaya pravrjanti iti vitthanam atmanameva logam ichchadaha akamasya vikhidam. So mentioned here. Now, of course, these quotations like edameva pravrajino logam ichchandu brahmanaha pravrjanti, and again kim prajaya karishyamo yesham noyam atma ayam loka, all these are from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now another very important quotation is given here, that is prag dara parigrahat purusha atma pragrudo dharma jijnasotragalam lokatraya sadhanam putram dipragaram, etc. So a worldly person, before marriage and after satisfying the instinct to know what is dharma, he may aspire for a son because he wants to attain this vittatrayam, that is manusham vittam, and then deva vittam, etc. But those who have gone beyond that, they need not worry about these things. Now, another quotation is given here from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Tebhyo vitthaya pravrjanti iti vitthanam atmanam eva lokam ichchadaha akamasya vikhidam. So, when we liberate ourselves from these shackles of karma, then only we take to sannyasa. So, that means the liberation or the highest renunciation or sannyasa is meant only for that person who have a strong aspiration for the realm of Atma-jnanam and who are completely free from all desires. The Bhashyakara continues, Tat etat vibhagavachanam anubhavannam syad yadi sauda karma jnanayoho samuchaya abhiprayada syad bhagavataha. So Bhashyakara says, if Lord Krishna's intention was to combine Srauda karma, Vedic rituals and jnana, then he would not have made such a clear distinction. He would not have made a clear distinction between those who take to an earlier path, that is karma, the path of karma, and those who are fit for the higher path, that is jnana. So this Vibhaga Vachanam itself would have been totally illogical if you take the idea, the view of the Jnana Karma Samuchayavadis. We will continue discussion. Now the discussion continues. Tad etat vibhaga vajanam anubhavannam syadidi srauda karma jnana yoga samuchaya abhiprayata syad bhagavataha. Of course, here is a reference to a verse in the 3rd chapter. That is lokesmin dividhanishta pura proktamayanaha. So in the 3rd chapter, 3rd verse, Lord Krishna makes it very clear that he recommends 2 parts. One meant for those who are fit for karmanishta, and another for those who are fit for jnananishta. So dividha nishtha pura prokta maya, it's clearly stated here. And then again, jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. For sankhyas, for those who are aspirants of the highest jnanam, jnana yoga, and others karma yoga, karma yogena yoginam. Such a distinction, clear distinction, would have been totally illogical if Lord Krishna's intention was to propose Jnana Karma Samuchayavada. So Jnana Karma Samuchayavada can never be defended on the basis of any of the statements in the Bhagavad Gita. That's made very clear. Nacha Arjunasya prasna upavanno bhavati jyayasi che karmanaste ityadi. Here is a reference to a verse in the 3rd chapter of the Gita. In the 3rd chapter, the first verse is jyayasi che karmanaste mada buddhir janadana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi kesava. That means Arjuna is asking one question to Krishna. If you hold that jnana is superior to karma, then why do you urge me, why do you force me to karma? I would rather go for jnana. So we have to understand the background very clearly. In the 1st chapter, Arjuna tried to run away from his duties, obligations, and from karma in general. Dushtemam, Sajanam, Krishna, etc. From 28th verse of 1st chapter up to 7th or 9th verse of 2nd chapter, Arjuna is trying to put forward his arguments for avoiding karma, to run away from his field of duties and obligations. In answer to this, in the 2nd chapter, from 11th verse, Lord Krishna gives him a simple exposition of jnana. Then he also gives a brief description of karma. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samabhuta samattam yogochyate. So you should perform karma as yogastha. So first Lord Krishna, at the beginning of the 2nd chapter, tries to force Arjuna to perform sagama karma. Akirtim chapi bhudani kathaishindite avyayam sambhavitasya jakirtihi maranat adirichide bhayat ranat uberadam mamsindetva makaradha, etc. So the first duty, the first thing that Krishna does is to urge Arjuna to give up laziness, inaction and lethargy, and at least to perform some action. If we cannot perform action without desire, then just act and do your duty as a kshatriya, maybe with desire, to keep up your reputation. Because if you run away from your duties and responsibilities from the battlefield, your enemies and also your friends will contemn you, and you have a great reputation. It is worse than death. Maranat atirichide. And then Lord Krishna gives a simple exposition of Advaita Jnana. And then Karma Yoga. And then he concludes the 2nd chapter with a long description of Siddhaprajna Lakshanani. From 55th to 72nd verse of 2nd chapter. In 18 verses, Lord Krishna presents before Arjuna the picture of a great jnani, a sthita prajna, who is always atmanyeva atmana tushta sthita prajnastadocchide, etc. So Arjuna did not understand that Lord Krishna was actually talking about the higher path for those who are much more highly evolved. Jnana prapti or jnanam for those who have reached chitta shuddhi, for those who have reached a higher level of spiritual fitness. For them jnana is okay, but not for others. Arjuna did not understand this. Arjuna thought both are equally applicable to all people. So Arjuna puts his question. If you think that jnanam is superior, then why don't you recommend jnanam for me? Why do you force me to engage in these activities, in these duties, horrible duties, which I am trying to run away from? It's like going to a market, and if a shopkeeper tells you, this is orange, this is apple. You can buy orange, you cannot buy apple. We have equal right to buy either of these. So this is how Arjuna took it. Arjuna did not understand that he was not the right person for jnana. Arjuna thought that he was equally fit for both jnanam and also for karma. So he asked this question, Jyayasi chet karmanaste mada buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojyasi. If you hold that jnana or knowledge is superior to karma, that is action, then why do you urge me, force me to engage in this karma? I would rather accept jnana. This is Arjuna's question. Such a question would have been totally out of place if Krishna's original intention was to recommend jnana karma samchevada, which is a combination of both jnanam and karma. So Bhashyakara is driving home his idea again and again from different quotations, from different perspectives. He is trying to establish the superiority of philosophy over external rituals. So in this third chapter, Bhashyakara himself observes, Katham bhaktaya srayorthino yet saksha srayasadhanam sankhya buddhi nishtham sravayitva mam karmani drishta anegarthayukti parambaryena api anegantika sraya praptikali nigunjyat idi yuktaha paryakuli bhava Arjunasya. So Arjuna's pathetic condition is clearly brought out here. So the distress in Arjuna's mind is quite natural. How could you, after explaining at first the highest Sankhya Buddhi or Jnanam, how can you recommend to me this karma, which is a hotbed of so many evils, as a means to reach the highest good? How can you do that? That is Arjuna's question. So Bhashyakara says, such a question would have been totally illogical if Krishna's original intention was jnana karma samuccayavada. Athasmartena eva karmana samuccaya sarvesham bhagavada ukta arjunena chavadharida chet tarkim karmani ghore mam niyojyasi ityadi katham yuktam vachanam. So if the conjunction of smarta karma, Srauda karma on the one hand and jnanam was the original philosophy that Lord Krishna wanted to teach Arjuna, then this question would have been totally illogical. The question is, why do you force me to action which is really terrible? So that quotation is very important. It's a very important point that Advaitin is putting forward to establish the view that the central theme of Bhagavad Gita is pure jnana and not jnana karma samuchaya. That's the idea behind. Naja Arjunasya prashna upapanno bhavati jyayasi chet karmanaste ityadi. Eka purushanushteyattu asambhavam buddhi karmanoho bhagavata purvam manuktam katham arjunaka asudam buddhehi cha karmano jyayastum bhavati prashna rupena adhyaropayet etc. So, it is very clear that it is impossible for the same person at the same time to perform both Sankhya Buddhi and Karma Buddhi, both Jnana and Karma. Therefore, it is very clear that the central theme is Jnanam as the highest path for those who are highly evolved, and Karma for those who are less evolved. That point is made very clear. Mursa eva jyasi chet karmanaste mada buddhi iti. So we can't say that it was just a meaningless question that Arjuna asked. We can't believe that, because Arjuna was a very logical person. Kimcha yadi buddhi karmano ko sarvesham samuchaya uktasya Arjunasya api saukta eva bhavati. So, if jnana karma samuchaya, that is buddhi karmano ko samuchaya, if the conjunction or the combination of jnana and karma was the original teachings of Gita for all people, then Arjuna also would have been included among those to whom it is meant. So Arjuna would not have asked this question. So Arjuna's question would have been totally meaningless if Krishna's original intention was to teach jnana karma samuchaya. That's the idea behind. Israya etayor ekam tanme bruhi sunischitam iti katham ubhayoho upadeshe sati anyadara vishaya eva prasna syat. So please teach me one of these. So please teach me which of the two, that is jnana and karma, edayoregam tanme bruhi sunischitam. This is already made here. So please teach me which of the two is the right path for me. So Arjuna also understood that jnana karma samuchaya was not the teachings, recommendation of Lord Krishna. So it's very clear that he also understood the same. Nahi chitta prashamanarthino vaidyena madhiram sidam cha bhoktavyam idi upadishte tayohu anyadar pitta prashamanaganam bruhidi prasna sambhavati. Suppose a medical doctor has recommended that a combination of madhura and sida, what is sweet and what is cold, then you won't ask whether I should take the sweet one or cold one. Suppose a physician or a doctor recommends a medicine which should be both sweet and also cold. If that is a kind of samuchaya, if a doctor gives such a prescription, then no patient can ask the question whether I should take the sweet one or the cold one. So it's very clear that Arjuna also understood in a way that Lord Krishna's teaching was not jnana karma samuchaya. That's why nahi pitta prasamanarthino vaidyena madhuram shidam cha bhoktavyam iti vadishte tayohu anyadara pitta prasamanagaranam bruhi iti prasna sambhavati. It's maybe the medicine used in curing bile. So when a doctor advises a patient to take a medicine which is both sweet and also cold, then the question from a physician, which of the two should I take, would be totally meaningless. That's what Arjuna is asking. So Arjuna is asking the question, which of the two is asking, why do you give me the prescription of karma and not jnana? So, yet shreya etayoregam tanme bruhi sunischidam. That means, please teach me which of the two is appropriate, is the real prescription for me. Such a question would have been totally meaningless. Atha Arjunasya Bhagavadukta Vajana Tavivega Anavadharana Nimitta Prasna Kalpi Tathapi Bhagavada Prasnanirubam Prativajanam Deyam Maya Buddhi Karmano Samuche Uttaka Kimarthamitam Tum Bhranto Asi Iti. Suppose we imagine, it's a wrong imagination of course, that Arjuna could not fully understand Krishna's prescription due to misunderstanding of the word from Lord Krishna. Arjuna asked such a question. Then Lord Krishna's reply could have been this: I already taught you jnana karma samuchaya, a combination of both jnana and karma, which I already taught you. Why do you ask this question? That should have been Krishna's answer, but that is not the answer. Logesmin dividhanishta pura prokta maya anakha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yogina. I have taught from the very beginning of the world, I have taught two parts to spiritual seekers of two different levels of evolution. Those who reach the highest degree of evolution, I have recommended jnana nishtha from them. And those who are still evolving, in the process of growing and evolving, I have recommended karma nishtha from them. This is the answer that Lord Krishna gave. Nadu puna pradivajanam anarubam prashtat anyat eva dvenishte maya pura prokte idi vaktam yuktam. And not only that, if that was so, then the teaching, two parts were taught by me earlier. This answer would be totally out of place. But if we cannot imagine that Lord Krishna's answer could ever be out of place. Nabhismartena eva karmana buddheha samuchi abhiprede vibhaga vajanadi sarvam anubhavannam. No bhavannam, that's the meaning. If you hold a view that karma has laid down the smrtis alone should be combined with jnana, then the two categoric definitions, the path of jnana and path of karma, and rest of our soul will be irrational. So, Bhashyakara is trying to drive home the idea that jnana and karma can never be combined. Now, we should say a few things about the philosophical import of this point of view. Jnana karma samuccayavada, as I mentioned earlier, it stands somewhere between extreme cutthroat Mimamsa ritualism and Vedanta or Advaita. It is a kind of compromise between the two. If Jnana Karma Samuccayavada was acceptable, then we will have to conclude that action or karma or rituals, as the word karma was used, the sense in which the word karma was used in those days during Shankara's time, it will become practically the most deciding factor in our life. When Shankaracharya wrote this commentary on the Gita, his main task was to refute the views of the Mimamsakas, who argued that external rituals with a strong desire, like worldly enjoyments, long life, wealth, reputation, and so on. This was the only teaching of the entire Vedic literature. That was the view held by both the Prabhagaras and also Bhattas. So Mimamsakas were trying to reduce the entire Vedic philosophy into empty ritualism. If you perform certain rituals with a strong desire, declaring yourself to be the Karta and the Bhokta, then you will get those results. And Vedas do not have anything more than that. So Shankaracharya's commentary represents the triumph of philosophy over empty ritualism. So he could not, under any circumstances, he could not allow any compromise on this point. So another point to remember is, he always used the word karma in the same sense in which Mimamsakas used that word. That is, external rituals, Vedic rituals. The idea of karma yoga as taught by Bhagavad Gita in the 3rd chapter and elsewhere, it was not current, it was not the sense in which Mimamsakas used the word karma. Karma for a Mimamsaka meant yajnas and yagas and Vedic rituals which if you perform will take you to Swarga. That's all. Or worldly enjoyments. Karma as understood as karma yoga, as explained in the 3rd chapter of Gita, was not understood or recognized by Mimamsakas. So while refuting Mimamsakas' views on karma, Shankaracharya took the word karma in the same sense in which Mimamsakas used it. That's a point to be understood very clearly when we read the refutation of Jnana Karma Samuccayavada in the Gita. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.